I don't think I want to be here anymore. Is this thing live? Are we live,
What do
Nicholas?
you what do you what do you mean? You don't want to be here on the show or
I don't want. I just don't want to be here anymore.
what is
I don't know
what?
why that popped into my head.
Because we quote the show all the time. Have you watched
Yeah,
the Chair Show yet?
I have not watched a chair
I
show
haven't
yet.
either. I haven't
I,
either.
I will. I've heard it's excellent. I will watch it. I just, you know me. It takes me forever in a day to get to shit, but that's okay because I'm too busy, Nicholas. Too busy celebrating.
Ooh.
Always the fucking bridesmaid, never the bride until last night. Nicholas, I am and forever will be a top golf champion, baby.
Congratulations, my friend. Where's he going with this?
Brought home the bacon. Brought home the bacon last night.
Yes, and I heard you did well yourself too, as an
I
individual.
so here's the thing, right? All season long, you play. They have different games you play, right? And there's a couple of weeks that are notorious that I hate because it's like you've got to it's like closest to the pin, and so I'm
Mhm.
hitting out into the wide open, but there's a virtual. It's a pain. Anyways, each week you play these games. They take the top four scores, and they keep a seasons long ranking. We never seeded the top seed at all.
Wow, wire to
We were
wire.
we were number one wire to wire, Nicholas. And there was weeks where usually we have a 6 team uh gang, so that affords us a little wiggle room. So if a couple of the members are off, we're gonna generally have four really great scores. Well, this year we only had five, and for a few of those weeks there was only four. I was
Ooh.
out due to COVID. I was out another week when I was away. Some other guys were out. So like we had zero wiggle room. And so you get to the playoffs last week. Everyone's seeded into pools. You win your pool. You play the champion. You get seeded for the championship round. So we get in there last night, and the team we're playing, they've got a full squad of 6. 3 of them I could write off right away. I said,
Oh,
how the hell did this team get here?
interesting.
Those 3 guys stink. But they had 2 guys that were like really good. They focused on their target and they hit it. But they had one guy who was just swinging from his toes, right? Sports talk. And he was going for the back well, which is in a game like this particular game we were playing, Top Golf, you can get a lot of points really quickly.
Mhm.
But the thing is, you miss a target, you lose your bonus multiplier, right? So this guy, like, he would miss a couple shots, but he'd hit a couple right down the middle bombs. So like he was gaining a lot of points. So going into the last round, because each game has got 4 separate, like it's got 4 rounds, so everyone goes, right? 5 shots. He takes his last shot of the 3rd round and he misses, so he doesn't get that carryover bonus into the 4th round. And I hear him say, "Oof, I'm tired." And I said, "I fucking knew it. This guy's gas from swinging out of his goddamn toes." So there was a point where they were beating us by a little bit. And I said, "Guys, just stay steady. Stay steady." And he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn going into that last round. We smoked him by 1,000 points.
Oh, wow. Jeez, 1,000 points.
And then going into the finals, I said, "All right, guys, this is what we got to do. If we can get 3 or more, 3 of or 4 of us and 700 points apiece or more, we're going to win this thing." And that's exactly what we did. I only missed I only missed the target once all night, Nicholas.
Wow. Jeez, look at you. Greg Maddox
Dialed
over
in,
here.
dialed in, 95 yards, dead center, bang, 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 bang. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of all ages, TLDR Studios proudly presents to you the greatest, the most winningest podcasting team in the world. He is your everyday comic book writer, Nick Friar. I am your 2025 Fall Top Leaf Golf Champion, the backcracker, Dr. Joe. And together we are the TLDR Comic Book Club, baby. How we doing, Nicholas?
I don't think you've ever been so excited to introduce yourself on this
Fucking
show.
ramped.
I can tell. I'm happy for you. This is I mean, you've been doing that league for a couple years now, right? And they do
Year and
like
a half, yeah.
multiple seasons, year and a half, and they do multiple seasons a year. So what's that, like your 5th season, I think?
Yeah. And we've come in.
You've been good. You've been knocking on the door, and you finally
We've been
busted it down.
third place, second place, third place, first. Right.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. So finally, you guys got rid of Shine, and you guys finally figured it out. I have no idea if he was playing for you guys or not. Was he on the team or
Miss
no?
Shime. I liked having Shime
He
around.
wasn't there. I had no idea.
No, it was so he picked up an assistant coaching gig, so he wasn't there this season.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Soccer,
didn't.
assistant
Oh,
soccer coaching. Yep. Yeah, at the high school level. Yeah.
okay, but that's another conversation for another day. We've done enough. Okay. Anyways, moving on. We got a lot to get to today. We got the November 2025 solicit. We did not do one of these for October, and the more Joe and I have different things popping up, the more we're like, we really need to do these. Like we've always done them for the listeners. Don't get me wrong, and it's helpful for us. Now we're realizing it's very helpful for us because there are some books that pop up on us. Number one specifically, where it's like, where the hell did this shit come from? Or surpassed me, and they're like, what the fuck? I had no idea. So like we cannot afford to skip out on solicits anymore. We got a lot to dig into, and of course we'll be doing what's new as we always do, and that'll be that first week of the solicit. Joe, from a catching up standpoint, the one thing that I wanted to know is a book that I've had my eye on for a bit, and indirectly you at least have two. That is Curse Words, which is by Ryan Brown and Charles Soule. You know that wizard and koala that we always see, one of the main characters in the Lucky Devils. He's always getting like statues for and stuff. Those guys are the center of the story Curse Words that these two, the creators of the Lucky Devils also did. I think it was from 2017 to 2019. I've been meaning to check it out. Finally checked out the first 5 issues. It was a 25 issue series. Dibs. I'm gonna go and finish this thing off, and at some point I'll do it on the show for a mainline episode. But read that first volume, absolutely loved it. The first issue, just like jaw dropping ending. I was like, it's going along. Like, okay, like what's the big twist gonna be here? I get it. Some of these things is, but then boom, and it was like, what the fuck? So love to see that. Love it, especially when it hits on that final page. But let's get into what we got new this week. Obviously, we got some breakdowns we want to get to. I think there's one from Marvel, but kick us off, sir.
All right. So for the first week of November, 11/5, right? The 5th. Remember the 5th of November for Marvel. No, I didn't. I'm all over the place. For Marvel Comics, we have Ultimate X-Men issue 21, The Amazing Spider-Man issue 15, Miles Morales Spider-Man issue 40, The Avengers issue 30, Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu issue 14. God bless you. Amazing X-Men issue 2, Legacy of Vader issue 10, Laura Kinney Sabretooth issue 2, Long Shots issue 2, Binary issue 2, Spirits of Violence issue 2, and then a couple number ones, Nicholas. We have Alien versus Captain America, written by Frank Thierry with art by Stefano Raphael. And we have Echo Seeker of Truth issue 1, written by Taboo and B. Earl with art by Jim Terry. And then there's a number one, Nikolai Habibulin, that you would like to dive into.
I loved hearing that name get called on NHL hits. Again, I think it was 03 that I played. But yeah, every time I heard that, I loved it. Real quick, before I get into this one issue, I forgot to do this off the top. If you haven't subscribed to one of the audio channels, make sure you do already. If you're finding us over on Instagram, make sure you go subscribe to our YouTube page as well. And if you're listening to the audio channel, same thing. We're doing a lot of different stuff, and maybe got some new stuff coming that'll be popping up on YouTube. Always trying different things, but we're always trying to give you something on each platform that you're not getting on all the other platforms as well. So make sure you subscribe to an audio channel and to our YouTube channel, because in the audio channels, that's the place you're going to find the Friar Side Chats, which are conversations with creators across the industry. And while you're there, leave a 5-star rating and review. 5 stars only, because otherwise you're going to learn the real meaning of Backcracker. All right. Now, the first issue that I want to talk about today is stemming out of the Imperial event that just concluded over at Marvel. This is written by Stephanie Phillips with art by Aaron Kuder. And this is Planet She-Hulk, issue 1. one of the things I loved about Imperial was the way that the political nature and this sci-fi story that we were getting, and it's thriller and everything like that. I I liked that a lot. I was stunned kind of by it, honestly. I didn't know what to expect going in, and I hadn't read a whole heck of a lot in the build up to Imperial, and then I read this Planet She-Hulk, which I did read there was like a single issue within that event, kind of giving me the lay of the land, what's going on for She-Hulk right now over on Sakaar. And I get in here and boom, it's gonna give you that same kind of feeling. There's other like political elements that are at play here, other machinations. So if you are, have a little more of a craving after reading Imperial, Planet She-Hulk is the next thing that you want to check out. If you didn't read it because of that whole event, because I could see people looking at this and be like, "Oh, this is cool," but where did this all start? Where like can I get in on this? There's like a quick explainer early on in the story, and then throughout the course of the story, there's more of a refresher, but also it's on a level of an explainer that caters to that new audience, but also helps move things along and remind readers who read all of the Imperial event. So obviously Stephanie Phillips crushing it in this first issue. I love her command of She-Hulk, like above all else, her comedy and just like the general exhaustion of for Jen Walters who's experiencing comes through perfectly. And then at the center of it all, you have this big time sci-fi action from Aaron Cooter from start to finish, just some explosive artwork. So Planet She-Hulk. I was surprised by this. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna check it out. I enjoyed Imperial, and I'm gonna go back and read the second issue or read the second issue when it comes out.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
All right, moving over to DC Comics, we got Batman issue 3, Absolute Green Lantern issue 8, Batgirl issue 13, Poison Ivy issue 38, Birds of Prey issue 27, Justice Society of America issue 13, Adventures of Superman Book of L issue 3, Cheetah and Cheshire Rob the Justice League issue 4, Gotham Academy Year 2 issue 2, Teen Titans Go issue 9, and then there is one book that Joe wants to break down, but a couple number ones first. Harley and Ivy, Life and Crimes, issue 1. This is written and drawn by Erica Henderson. And then DCKO Nightfall. This is Joshua Williamson and Dan Mora.
Sorry,
what did I say? Nightfall?
They've done that one already.
Okay. Night Fight. And this is if you want to know what if you read the first issue of DCKO and want to know what's going on with Batman, you got to read this. That I'm going to leave it at that, plain and simple. Joe, the book that you wanted to talk about from DC this week.
Yeah, it's the absolute series for me. I know KO's getting all the love right now. But for me, one of the best things at DC going right now is still the absolute series, and Absolute Superman. Issue 13, written by Jason Aaron with art by Rafa Sandoval. There's a lot of books I could have talked about this week, but I picked this as one of them strictly because of how this book ended. We get a lot in this issue. We get a lot of narration, from Lois's point of view, and we get a lot of Jimmy Olsen in this, and so we get a lot of sort of the resistance, right? Like building up, sort of its forces and its command, and really, Cal and Lois and Jimmy like really start getting to preparing for their fight against the Peacemakers. But it was the ending that I read this and I said, gotta talk about this one this week, because we've been getting so much in this series, and one of the characters that's a character but not quite a character that you've grown kind of attached to, like there's some shit that happens at the end of this issue that just holy shit I didn't see coming. And where this is going to go, I've got no idea, but it's going to be catastrophic. We had that little mini arc there, with Brainiac, which was excellent and terrifying. And what we get in this issue, how it ends, just strap in and strap on, baby. You're not ready for this issue of Absolute Superman. Plain and simple. It was excellent, but specifically, it was that ending that really blew me away.
The only other thing I want to add to your excellent breakdown of Absolute Superman issue 13, Heat Vision. Holy fuck.
Oh, yes.
So good.
Yeah.
Excellent job, Rafa Sandoval. All right,
Yeah.
what do we got from Image this week?
From Image and Skybound, we have Void Rivals issue 24, G.I. Joe issue 13, Rook Exodus issue 8, Assorted Crisis Events issue 6.
Back, baby.
It's back, baby. The Walking Dead Deluxe issue 124, The Scorched issue 46, Young Blood issue 2, and then we have 2 number ones. One of these is intriguing as all hell. But we have Impact Winter, Even Fall issue 1. This is written by Travis Beacham with art by Sumyi Kesson, and this is also an audio book, right? That Travis has done. You can find that on Audible. But the thing that's really sort of piqued my interest is Ice Cream Man, The Mortal Coil issue 1. Written by I forgot to write down
I got you.
The creators. If you could hook me up there for a second. But what is really unique about this is that they're telling this story via a custom designed deck of cards featuring custom backs and a custom box too. All the art is as ever by Ice Cream Man, Star Wars, Marazzo, Chris O'Halloran, and good old Neon, according to the
it's W. Maxwell Prince is the writer,
yes,
artist Martin Marazzo, colorist Chris O'Halloran, and letter by good old Neon.
Thank you. So some cards will tell part of the story, while other cards cast inscrutable spells on unwitting characters, and some must be joined with other cards to form a complete piece of art. The cards deck version of a spread. So it's a first of its kind comic experiment, also perhaps the last. Excellent. I love that. I went to Newbury Comics today because Violet, my daughter, had the day off. So I said, let's go. Let's maybe pick up some Pokemon cards. And of course, I get the news that Lunar is delayed. So these may be in, they may not be in. Your local comic book shop might be different than mine. So it's a 50-50 chance out there. They don't know why Lunar's delayed. Lunar's really been ahead of go of it lately. So I want these bad, and I should have had the foresight to say, hey, snag one for me. Because you always get afraid that someone's gonna like go in and just sort of wipe the store out because this is so unique. But definitely something to check out because that's a pretty rad thing to experiment with.
Damn, like that. I didn't know that there were delays. It's just I feel like every week
it could just be the Newbury Comics that I go to.
Sure.
And that they're having, but he just said Lunar's delayed again. And I went, they love me over there because I'm like, yeah, no big deal. I'm not one of these guys that's gonna like flip his shit if my comics aren't there on time. Yep, cool. Whatever. They'll get here when they get here. No, I can always come back.
Well, we also get it before everybody else. That helps.
That helped, but the books that we don't get, that what I mean.
Sure. No, I know what you mean. I don't understand that, like why people would just lose. Like,
I've been in the store and I've heard people flip out, and I just want to be like, bro, chill. It's not his fucking fault.
Yeah, it's like not even.
He doesn't want to deal with your fucking whining ass. The last thing he wants is your comics to be delayed and hear you bitch about it.
The last thing that these people want to be dealing with, the people who are working the shops, is that like delays, because it's a whole part of their business flow, and it's just now. Who knows? Maybe people carve out their Wednesday to go over there, and then you know what? I can't they're delayed, so now I can't come back till next Friday, and then maybe or next Thursday or next Wednesday rather, and then it's like I can't look as much though. I can't, and all the old stuff I'm not going to check out. Blah blah blah. Like they don't want that. What?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
We're probably, our listeners are probably not like that. They're probably more like us, so we're preaching to the choir. But anyways, all right, moving on. From Boom, we got Minor Arcana issue 11, VR Troopers issue 4, and Bronze Faces issue 6.
From Dark Horse, we have Nemesis Forever. Issue 3. Huck, Big Bad World issue 6. Quick Stops, Volume 3, issue 3. This is a book I need to catch up on. Orphan and the Five Beasts, Bath of Blood, issue 2. I loved the first volume of Orphan and the Five Beasts.
Oh.
I mean that came out a couple of years ago. Real sort of gritty, raw art style there. Just a great sort of samurai fantasy story there. So I got to catch up on this. Texarkana issue 4. That's a book I fell off on. Achi versus Minor Threats, issue 3. Resident Alien, the Book of Changes, issue 3. And then we have a number 1, Nicholas, that you would like to discuss.
Yeah, Space Scouts issue 1. This is written by Matt Kint with art by David Rubin, and this is the book that surprised me the most this week. You've got like this annual galactic competition that goes on every year in this story, and you have individuals with special abilities who are competing to be the next scout, like Space Scouts, like the title of the book. And these Space Scouts are essentially the universe's or this universe's superhero team. But the character that we're focusing on is very much a reluctant hero. And obviously, it's not the first time we've ever seen something like that. Even in stories where they have these like events where it's like, winner take all, this, handpicked, whatever, I'm thinking like Hunger Games, even where it's just the reluctant hero. I don't want to go and do this, but I have to go and compete for this. It is the motivations here are very different, and it's annual, and it's not as dangerous as like the Hunger Games. But what I really like here for me, and I didn't read the Hunger Games books, but from like a movie standpoint, yes, we get an understanding of the character and what's going on with her in her emotions. But in this, we get the narration of our main character. And I really feel like Matt Kint did a nice job of like playing off of the reluctant hero trope that we have and just kind of talking about it, working through the character's emotions. And then that made like the different emotional development that this character undergoes. It made it easier for me to process everything and appreciate every step of the way. So very character focused writing. And then the art does a lot when it comes to world building too. Some really cool stuff from like, the competition and everything, but just there's so many ways in which the characters are talking about stuff or going through things and it's focused there. But then the art is like, here's what's also going on in the story. Here's what's also going on in the world. And I just think all around, Space Scouts is a very, very complete first issue.
Love that. This is one I meant to read. Didn't get to. There was a bunch of number 1s this week that were really, piqued my interest. And so I ran out of time. But that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I think you're going to like it. I mean, obviously you're a big Matt Kint fan as well. So, the same general rule that I've said before. I don't want to take dibs on this one from you, but if you don't read it by the time issue 2 comes out, then I will take dibs.
Take it.
Okay. All right. Then I'm taking dibs. All right. There we go. If you're going to fucking push me into it. All right.
If your gut was to take dibs, take dibs. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I don't praise you enough. That was too much praise. I appreciate it.
Oh my God. That was
from Mad Cave Studios. You want to take this one, or am I going to take this?
Yeah, I got it. I can compose myself. All right, we got Vanishing Point issue 6. Look Into My Eyes issue 4, which I am a little behind on. Whatever Happened to the Crimson Justice issue 5. Bitchcraft issue 5, and then of course Speed Racer issue 4, which we're both reading. Again, we've talked to David Pepos on the show previously. Davide Tinto's art is outstanding. Just again, like another very fast-moving, intense story, but at the same time, we're getting so much detail from Pepos every step of the way. We could not love Speed Racer more and everything that's going on over at Mad Cave Studios in that world. And then we got a number 1 that I think you wanted to dig into, Joe. And then there's a couple other ongoing books that we want to dig into more. There's a lot from Mad Cave, as always.
There is. I just quick on this one, because this one intrigued me. It was a little all over the place, but once it kind of settled, I kind of settled into it. Like, the premise of the story is fantastic. So I'm looking forward to issue 2. And that's Circus Maximus issue 1, written by Mark Sable, with art by Giorgio Ponarelli. Rome, 64 AD. The most daring heist in history is being planned by an unlikely crew: a former slave, a Vestal virgin, and a charioteer and a disgraced architect, each with their own personal motives. While Rome is distracted by the chariot racing and gladiatorial games by the Circus Maximus, the crew plans to rob the imperial treasury under the Temple of Saturn. But when Emperor Nero sets fire to the city, they'll be lucky to escape his wrath with their lives, let alone the loot. So the premise is fantastic. And like I said, it's a little all over the place. To start, once you kind of get past that halfway point, things start to settle down a little bit and you get a sense of what's going on. Like the idea, the storytelling is really good. Like Nero in this is a real so and so.
Okay. Nice.
And so like there's some great character development there. It's there. So I'm gonna, definitely check out the second issue on this. But I just wanted to like say it like it took me a hot second to like I'm okay. Am I following this correctly? I had to go back a little bit and that could just be a me thing. So it did seem a little scattered at first, but I did enjoy it by the end. It did its job, making me want to read that second issue. So this is one that's definitely worth checking out. But a book that I really want to dig into, Nicholas, and that is Wild Animals, issue 4, by Ed Brisson and Andy Kuhn. Now I've had for a while like my mind dead set on who I think my best writer for the year, Floppy, is going to be. And then after reading Wild Animals and reading other books, by Ed Brisson this year, I'm second guessing myself. I'm starting to think, oh, okay, could Ed come in here right down to the deadline and pull this thing out? Wild Animals, I mean, we've talked about it before, on the show, but like it is just such a quintessential revenge story with such deeply flawed characters. But you're rooting for him, right? And you want to see him just go on this revenge tour and just take everyone out that destroyed his life. And the turn that we get in this issue,
Dude.
It is so diabolical because on one hand you're like, oh shit, is that what happened? Or don't trust that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like we're at this fork in the road where I found myself going, holy shit, and now leaning one way, but in the recesses of my mind, I'm going, well, this could still play out this way, right? So like it was such a diabolical twist to this story that even though it's added and that wrinkle is there, it's like Ed really still could take this. He could even take it down a third path for all we know. And when we had Ed on to talk about this book and all that, like we really got some great insight, right? And so like to me, like this issue was just I love a good twist, right? And by me saying that, I don't think is a spoiler or anything like that.
No.
But like when you read it and you're gonna go, holy shit, and it really just flips the story now on its head. I don't know what to believe anymore. And I love that going into this next issue. Wild Animals has just been it's also a book to consider for best miniseries of the year.
Or most underrated book of the year.
Or most underrated, right? So like just weird, wild stuff, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, going into this last issue, like nothing but questions now. Like we feel like we've known this whole time what's going on. We've had an idea, and we've loved like how it's developed and kind of like this character's kind of plodding along, trying to do his thing, but like is not really like the best at it and whatever. And then it's like, wait, what shit, dude? Like, but also there have been breadcrumbs for this too. But it's like, yeah, like whatever, like who knows? And then it's like, now, like it's tough. You're muted.
Oh Jesus! Not only are there breadcrumbs, but like the psychological aspect of narcissists, of sociopaths, of psychopaths. It's like, can you really Right? I
Yep.
don't know.
I don't know.
I'm flipped upside down on this, Nicholas, and it was just so effing good.
Ed pulled the Confundus charm on you.
Yeah,
Didn't even need to do a flip book. Oh man.
People need to stop doing that to me.
All right, and then another Mad Cave book that I wanted to dig into a little bit more. Eat Your Young, issue 3, which we're both reading, written by Brian Buccellato with art by Matea Monaco. So much has changed since the first issue of the series, but one thing that hasn't is the nonstop action and the feeling that every time you turn the fucking page, something could go wrong with one of the characters that we've been introduced to. We know from the jump that no one's safe, but it's like that's actually proven to be the case. The second issue was so explosive. The third issue was moving at 100 miles an hour. And what's got me hooked into this story more than anything else, as much as I love the action, it's the motivations of the good siblings and then the bad siblings, because we have these like clear problems with the bad sibling team, and it's like things that like we can come to conclusions on our own because of like different types of stories like this in the past that like can mess with our head. And I'm sure that like there's gonna be more plays on that as the story goes along. But then it's like the good characters, the good siblings are also getting pushed to their limits as well and being like forced to make decisions that seem to be out of character based on what we've learned about them, what others are saying about them throughout the course of this. And then like I'm saying all this and I'm ignoring the ending of this issue. And I'm just like, this really, really sets up issue 4 well to be fucking explosive.
Yeah, I got to get caught up on this because this was a book when I saw, when I was like, oh shit. So I got to go back and read issue 2. And because I think issue 2 came
You'll read
out
them.
right when,
You'll read them in the same sitting. Yeah, when you were gone.
yeah,
Yes.
100%. Yeah, when I was I'm like, fuck, right? Because I loved the first issue. So yeah, I gotta get caught up on this ASAP. I actually meant to do it for today, but
I got
you
it.
know,
I got us covered.
Dedham Public Schools decided to give a day off on a professional development day on a random Tuesday.
Makes
When
total
they have the
sense.
following Tuesday off as well. So like,
Yep, that makes
yay.
total sense. No school November.
Yeah.
Coming up. All right.
Christ.
From Oni, we got Adventure Time issue 7, Cruel Universe issue 4, Skin Police volume 2, issue 3, and then Crownsville issue 1, which is written by friend of the show, Rodney Barnes, with art by Elia Bonetti. Did you end up getting a chance to check this sucker out?
Oh, I sure did, Nicholas.
Dude.
Yeah. I would say similar to Circus Maximus, where it took me about halfway through. No, and that wasn't to get into it. It was to get all of the characters.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
bang, 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 bang. And then once that happened, because that was also, I think, the point in the issue where some shit starts to come, unfolded a bit, if you will, and then like the issue just sort of takes off from there. So I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, we haven't had Rodney on in a while, but I think the last time we had him on, he was talking about a story like this, taking place. So the synopsis: founded at the turn of the 20th century outside of Annapolis, Maryland, the Crownsville Hospital was a notoriously segregated all-black psychiatric institute. After decades of overcrowding and neglect, alongside darker, more persistent rumors of patient abuse and illegal medical experiments, it was finally closed. Today it stands condemned, a crumbling testament to a legacy of all too real terror inflicted on a marginalized and vulnerable community. But even as a ruin of its former self, Crownsville still casts a long shadow. I feel like he was talking about this, and it was originally on his Substack.
Maybe.
And because I recall, I'm gonna have to go back and listen. I vividly recall him talking about, this sort of psychiatric hospital, and whether it was like an idea he was kicking the can on, and now it's finally come to fruition, or if it was like a short story or something on his his Substack. I feel like he did talk about this because once I got into the comics, something triggered in my brain. So
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I thought it was excellent. It's definitely worth checking out.
I think you're right about like I'd forgotten, but now I should go back and listen to. I feel like there was some level of like he talked about this in some capacity when we talked to him last. Obviously, he's been a bit. It was before his Ahsoka run began. He's been doing a lot of Star Wars stuff over at Marvel. But yeah, the only thing that I wanted to really add, like this is we have like it's like a fictional story wrapped in like this some terrible real life stuff, and that alone is like going to bring me in. But then you combine that with like the characters that Rodney
Yeah.
introduces, and then the chilling art that Elia Bonetti has given us. Like I'm in 100%.
So yeah, there's a vibe that I think Rodney likes to go for here. This is not like, Elia's art is not Jason Sean
It's the
Alexander's art.
colors, honestly. I feel like.
Yeah, maybe it is the colors, but there is a similarity. There is almost a
Hmm.
semi realism to the
Hmm.
art,
Hmm.
right? That is terrifying. And I feel like we would get that at sort of points in Philadelphia, and Nita Haas. This is a lot more cleaner in the sense that it's not as gritty, it's not as grainy, it's not as raw as Jason Sean Alexander's art, but there's a terrifying realism to it, and
Hmm.
it was excellent. But yeah, the colors were definitely a big factor in that as well.
Yeah, 100%. All right, I'm going to buzz us through these last few before you break down the one last book that you want to break down from this week. From AWA Studios, we got Charlemagne the God presents Illuminati issue 5. From IDW, we got Godzilla issue 4, Star Trek Red Shirts issue 4, and then we also have Monster High Shock and Awe issue 1 by Heather Newfer and Kelly Riley. From Vault, we got Post Malone's Big Rig issue 4. From Distillery, we got White House Robot Romance issue 2. From Titan, we have The Savage Sword of Conan issue 11. Little Nightmares Descent to Nowhere issue 2, as well as Doctor Who The Prison Paradox issue 1, which is written by Dan Waters and Sammy Cavella, which brings us, Joe, to Dynamite.
I feel validated. You took my notes, and you let Titan and Conan really just flow seamlessly. Right off the tongue. It felt natural, not forced for once.
Thank you.
So I'm glad you took my notes.
I appreciate the compliment as much as it is backhanded.
Yeah, still a little too much. Not enough back end. Well,
Titan. Titan.
Titan,
Titan.
Conan, the Savage Sword of Conan, right? If once you get that cadence down, Nicholas, like you'll never read the right way again. From Dynamite, we got Gargoyles Demona issue 4, DuckTales issue 8, Dynamite Blood Red issue 2. I felt like we've been saying Dynamite every week for the past 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And I know we've been getting the reviews, so I don't know what the hell's going on there.
I don't know.
Maybe it's a weekly thing, and maybe I'm
Maybe.
sundown.
Maybe.
But we've got 2 Thundercats books, Nicholas, dropping this week. Another reason why Ed Brisson is like he's like, you know what? I really want that fucking floppy.
Yep.
I'm just
You
gonna
really.
save everything for the end of the year. So and both these titles kind of go hand in hand with each other. So I believe this one I'm going to mention first is a one off, because I think we're getting a series of these. We recently got a Chitara one. We're getting a Panthro one, also written by Ed. I think next week or the week after. But we have Thundercats Pumara issue 1, written by Ed Brisson with art by Alice Leclerc, this was an awesome issue. And I mean, I could see it being a mini series. I can see it was perfect as a one shot. But it's taking this character who Ed's been writing in Thundercats Lost, which I'll get to in just a second, and giving you their origin story. And again, this was a revenge story. This was Jaga giving a young Pumara a life lesson, sort of saying like, "Hey, you want to get revenge on this person? I know we're there. Go have at it."
Ooh.
And the life lesson that comes out of that is tremendous character development. So this was a great issue. The book I want to discuss in a little bit further detail, however, is Thundercats Lost issue 8. written by Ed Brisson with art by Rafa Lobosco. And I've loved this series. It's been over the last several issues. It's been tying into Thundercats is like really well, and so I love that while they're two completely different stories, you're getting a little bit of that crossover. But what I'm loving the most is the work between Ed and Declan Shalvey with just really expanding this universe, right? Like you could be familiar with Thundercats. You could have watched the '80s cartoon. Heck, you might have even watched the late 2000s, cartoon, right? And just like, oh, I love Thundercats, and the Thundercats that you all know and love is Lionel, Chitara, Panthro, right? Wily Cat, right? The whole gang, and then Mutants and Mum Ra, and like you could just sort of stay within that nucleus and be very very happy. But what we've gotten here, especially in Thundercats Lost, is a sort of new ragtag, or at least new to us ragtag group of Thundercats, and sort of their search for the Book of Omens, and sort of just this whole world is just sort of being enriched. And Thundercats Lost, again, it's a new group of Thundercats that are sort of trying to survive, and at the same time find certain characters that may or may not be where they're looking for, right? But it's just a real it's been really great world building, and taking a property that I love and just expanding it really really well. And in this issue in particular, there's a lot of things at stake, and we see an older Pumara struggling to be a leader, and trying to always sort of do the right thing, but also have people question her, which now that we've gotten this one shot gives you a greater sense of who that character is and why she is the way she is. So this was an absolutely excellent issue. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love that we're just getting inundated with Thundercats. What did Joe Mulvey say last week? Right, he said something about like we're Thundercatsing or something like that.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah, he had a term for it. Yeah, I'm just I'm knee deep in Thundercats, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, we're not. We're both not reading every single like nostalgia comic that's coming out right now, but we're covering things pretty well between the two of us, and between this and I'm trying to think. Captain Planet, Speed Racer, Space Ghost, Terminator, like all this stuff. Like it's
Silverhawks.
Silverhawks.
What's
You've
the
been
other guy? Yeah, what's the other guy? Oh, the theme song, Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon, yes, of course, Flash Gordon. Well, Flash Gordon and Dick Tracy both feel like they are nostalgia, but they're also so old. Like to me, that I don't know. Anyways,
They're nostalgic for our parents.
sure, yeah. Don't sing that song, by the way. I just had a delayed reaction to that. How many fucking times I gotta tell you? But anyways, it's amazing. Like the for some of these there's like reimagining of the characters, some there is reimagining and then like expanding the world. It's just all around. I feel like not all of the nostalgia comics are necessarily hitting, but the ones that we're talking about are doing really well. And it's really been it's been a really pleasant surprise. And yes, confirmation from Joe Mulvey, Thundercatting big time. But I love it. Like we want new stories. We like new stories with like old familiar characters as well, as long as they're good. Like we don't want that just for the sake of it. Like, and we want both. I mean, I'm sorry, why can't we fucking ask for both? You know what I mean? That's what it comes out to. I don't know. Asking for too much, Joe?
Yes, but that's okay.
Okay. Well, anyways, I guess we can start off with the second week of this solicit. So yeah, we got 3 more weeks to get through. Everybody, we'll have the timestamps in the show. I've been bad about this for a while, but I'm going to make sure I'm keeping track of this. So week 2, Joe, for the month of November 2025.
Okay, let's go. Strap in and strap on. Marvel is like, you know what? It's turkey season. Let's go. We have Ultimate Wolverine. This is for New Comic Book Day, November 12th, 2025, the year of our year. Ultimate Wolverine issue 11, Ultimate Black Panther issue 22, Fantastic Four issue 5, Spider-Man and Wolverine, issue 7. The Amazing Spider-Man Torn, issue 2. Spider-Man 94, issue 3. New Avengers, issue 6. Spider-Man Noir, issue 2. Eddie Brock Carnage, issue 10. Marvel Knights, Punisher, issue 2. I'm really looking forward to that one. Also, I meant to read Spider-Man Noir, issue 1, and I didn't get to it. I got to go back and read that. Anyway, Sinister 6, issue 2. Rogue Storm, issue 2. Star Wars, issue 7. Marvel Knights, The World to Come, issue 4. Iron and Frost, issue 2. Red Hulk, issue 10. There's another potential writer of the year candidate in Benjamin Percy, right?
Always in the mix.
Venom 251, Spider-Girl issue 6. Marvel Black, White, and Blood and Guts issue 2. When's the Gary Maloney issue?
2. I thought that was. I'm actually confused. I'm going to check that real quick.
Double check that for him, but
yeah, I was thinking about that. Go ahead, you continue.
Yeah, okay. I thought you had more to say. Strange Tales issue 2. Han Solo, Hunt for the Falcon, issue 3. And then we have a few number ones. We have 1776, issue 1, written by J. Michael Straczynski with art by Ron Lim and Damian Hill. Yes, Nicholas.
So Gary's is issue 3.
Okay.
And his issue 3, where he's doing Hit Monkey.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. We have Predator Badlands, issue 1, written by friend of the show, Ethan Sachs, with art by Elvin Ching and Oren Jr. A young Utja warrior is given a seemingly simple task by his father: retrieve a piece of technology from a derelict spaceship that crashed years ago. This apparently is a prequel to the upcoming Predator Badlands movie. So,
which I'm excited for that. So I'm checking this.
Excited for that. Check this out. I love Ethan Sachs. I love his work and his writing. So this should be excellent. And then we have X-Men: Tales from the Age of Apocalypse. I must have been drinking when I wrote that. Written by Fabian Nizira, John Frank Moore, Larry Hama, Scott Lobdell, with art by Dan Green.
Yes. Real quick, I just want to make sure that you see this as well, because I'd be remiss if I didn't show you. I think Joe Mulvey just came up with a new segment for the show, Joe's Thunder Corner. I think that's going to have to be a recurring thing going forward.
I'm gonna make a banner and hang that in my bedroom.
Oh my God! I was gonna tell you to stop doing the show. All right.
She's already not pleased that I'm hanging. I legit have a banner that says Top Golf Fall Champions.
Oh,
that's going above the headboard. You know.
Jeez. That's fucking funny. All right. Moving on to DC Comics for the week of the 12th. We got Batman issue 162, Action Comics 1092, Batman and Robin issue 27, Batman Dark Patterns issue 12, Superman The Kryptonite Spectrum issue 4, Aquaman issue 11, Supergirl issue 7, Green Lantern Corps issue 10, Mr. Terrific Year 1 issue 6, Batman Gotham by Gaslight, A League for Justice issue 5, Court Children of the Round Table issue 3, and then we got Batman Static Beyond issue 1. This is written by Evan Narcisse with art by Nicholas Draper Ivy. Static Shock and Batman Beyond. I'm going to be checking this one out.
Yeah, that's got Nicholas J. Friar written all over it. I don't even know what your middle name is. I don't think I care. From Image and Skybound, we have Transformers issue 26, Spawn issue 370, Red Coat issue 15, The Power Fantasy issue 13. I am so fucking pumped. I am caught up, Nicholas.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe Real American Hero issue 322. We're Taking Everyone Down With Us issue 6. It's back after being off for a few months. Blood and Thunder issue 7. Witchblade issue 16. Artificial issue 3. This is, as always, a Marie Lovett comic is going to be wild, and Artificial is definitely wild. The Author Immortal issue 2. Blood Squad 7 issue 11. Death to Pachuco issue 2. And then, Nicholas, this is a number one. This is a week for number ones from Image. Like they're making Marvel and DC. Like Image is just saying, "Hold my beer, I got you." We have Young Blood, Mass Market Edition, issue 1, written by Rob Liefeld, of course, with art by Chance Wolf, Juan Manuel Rodriguez. We have Colossal Kaya, issue 1, written by Wes Craig, and a whole slew of artists such as Nathan Fox, James Herron, Mike Huddlestein, Declan Shalvey, Ryan Stegman. This is going to be quite the team up book here for creators. We have Gray Lady, issue 1, written by Adam Glass and Mike Benson, with art by Ken Lashley. But I think the book that now, yes, we're looking forward to, but we've already fucking read and
Yes.
we already fucking love it. And we've told you how fucking awesome it is. Kieran Gillen told you how fucking awesome it is. If we had Stephanie Hans on as well, she'd tell you how fucking awesome it is. And then it's Die Loaded issue 1. We are back, baby, to one of the great fantasy worlds ever created, in Die. And if you read the first, series, then that well, I shouldn't say you know what to expect, because you don't, but you know what to
No.
expect in terms of just how epic the storytelling and the art can be for this universe. And I'll tell you what, Kieran does not take his foot off the gas.
No, man, I loved it. We had a great conversation with Kieran. Just Kieran this time. We talked with him and Stephanie when Die concluded. And then we just chatted with him this go around ahead of the series beginning. And honestly, I love that we were able to, we talked about how like it was so awesome to both the when Die ended and when Once and Future ended. We had Kieran on both times to talk about those series, which was so much fun to kind of dig in with him there. But then to talk with him ahead of this series, like we did with the Power Fantasy, just this one, there's a lot that couldn't be discussed that that I would have loved to talk to him about. Maybe whenever Die Loaded wraps, we'll have him back on to kind of dig into some of that. But it was really cool. It was there are some elements that were important to me in Die that I think Kieran did a great job with here as well. I don't want to dig into that more because, again, just like respecting spoilers and everything. But just to put it simply, if you liked Die, you will like Die Loaded issue 1. Plain and simple. It's right on that same level, without question. And also, Gray Lady, I'm interested in checking out Gray Lady issue 1 big time too. Like it's got like a horror-y kind of thriller vibe. Just a real quick on this one, Joe. A year after a tragic accident on a snowy road, Samantha Ellis is still haunted by the loss of her son, Ben. Grief has unraveled her, but when a mysterious psychic warns her that Ben is in danger, Sam's desperation transforms into fierce determination. A chilling blend of The Sixth Sense and Ghost, The Gray Lady is a supernatural thriller that explores the unbreakable bond between a mother and her child, where hope, grief, and terror collide. I'm definitely checking this one out, 100%. Like you said, really strong week from Image. Moving over to Boom, we got Grimm issue 25, which is the final issue of Grimm.
Yeah, and that's been that's only been coming out on a bi-monthly basis, I think. We love this story, and I know Stephanie Phillips is a very, very busy writer. I just wish that this story didn't take so long. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like it's petered out because it was just rolling for so long, and now like when it takes a year for 4 issues to come out, that loses a little momentum. But
it's tough.
That's tough, and that's not always the writer's fault or anything like that. I don't want to say like it's just a bummer, but I it's bittersweet because I'm really very much looking forward to this issue, and sad that it's going to be over. But like it's one of those books that had been cooking with such great momentum, and then just sort of like gets over the finish line, and that's just a little bit of a bummer. But it's not going to take away from how much I love this series.
Yeah, and this is one that you've been on since day one, and it's so when you talk about like that momentum, it's not like, oh, I didn't read this at first and then I caught up on the trades and then like, oh, now I have to like wait and then like the momentum's gone for you. You've been on it on a weekly basis since it came out, or sorry, every single issue you're reading it as it comes out. So I think that kind of speaks like that's like the truest experience, I think. I'm very curious how it'll read upon reread, because I'm sure one of us will do that at some point in time. But yeah, like it doesn't come down to just the creators or just one creator. There's a lot of different things that go into it, but the delays have definitely like made it tough
Mm,
when it comes to the story. But the only thing that I want to add too is I think I've said this before. I feel like Stephanie Phillips has kind of alluded to there being more in this world, just not more grim. So
yeah,
I don't know what that is, but to further that, I hope that what we're dealing with right now from like the long pauses, we don't deal with that anymore with
yeah.
whatever else comes from this. Also from Boom on the week of the 12th, we have Wind, The Powers of the Blood, issue 6, VR Troopers, Power Rangers, Flip Book Facsimile Edition, issue 3. I don't know how I got through that there. What do we got from Dark Horse?
From Dark Horse, we have The Witcher, The Bear and the Butterfly, issue 4. I've been very, very much looking forward to this issue. Star Wars, Hyperspace Stories, Tides of Terror, issue 3. The Adventures of Lumen N, issue 3. And then a couple of number ones. We have Hellboy and the BRPD, The Ghost Ships of Labrador, issue 1, of course, written by Mike Mignola and Rob Williams with art by Lawrence Campbell. And we have American Caper, issue 1, written by Dan Hauser and art by David Lanpham. A tale of two totally normal, completely damaged families in a world of corrupt businesses, inept local politicians, bungling criminals, and unfortunate leisure wear. There's more to the synopsis there. I think that's all you need. I'm in. That kind of sounds fantastic.
Yeah, yes, it does. Moving over to Mad Cave, we got Dick Tracy issue 13, Flash Gordon Quarterly issue 5, Gunpowder Profits issue 2, Red Vector issue 4. Gunpowder Profits issue. I don't know what happened, but I meant to read that first issue.
Mm.
Then we got Liquidator issue 1. This is Peter Milligan and Peter Kowalski, who we enjoy both their work. Real quick, I'm going to jump down in the synopsis. Aubrey is a liquidator. Her job is to fix glitches in time. I'm already interested hearing that alone.
Mm.
The next sentence, she just wishes she could fix the glitches in her life. I'm not going to go into it more. We don't need to. I'm already in. Liquidator issue 1 from Mad Cave.
Sounds like all she needs is a little red wine and a couple of girlfriends, and they can hammer that out.
Maybe.
All right, I'm gonna rip through these next two here, Nicholas. From Oni Press, we have High Strangeness issue 2, and from IDW, we have Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring issue 4. I have not read a single stitch of this. I am waiting to read it all at once.
Oh, you're gonna love it. Oh,
I know.
wow.
I
Okay.
know.
We don't give
Well,
review copies.
because like my local comic book shop wasn't getting them, or I didn't get there in time to get it, and then so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna make sure I got them. Boom, fly right through it. I'm
Cool.
really looking forward to that. Event Horizon. So I'm not trade waiting. I have them. I'm just gonna read it all together.
Gotcha.
Event Horizon Dark Descent issue 3, Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone issue 4. Of course, it's written by friends of the show, Ethan Parker and Griffin Sheridan. We have TMNT Journeys issue 3, Star Trek Lower Decks issue 13, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, The Seeds of Salvation, Tidy It Up issue 3, Street Shocks issue 2, and then we have TMNT and Godzilla issue 1, written by Tim Seeley, with art by Ferro Paniche.
I wonder what that one's gonna be like. I
Wild.
don't know if they've ever crossed over, but it's just
Well, he did. So he no those two in particular, no, but Tim Seeley said a TMNT crossover because he did it. Last
He-Man,
one
right?
was with He-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is that's a little different. It's because like just all reptiles too. I guess that's more what I'm leaning into. But anyways, moving
Gotcha.
on. I'll take us through these last few, Joe. So Distillery, we got City Beneath Her Feet, issue 2. From Titan, we got Conan the Barbarian, issue 26.
Oh, Titan, Conan the Barbarian. Right. We'll
Ah,
get there, Nicholas. It's okay. It's okay. Not even Tony Gwynn hit 400. Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
Craniacs sorry, Craniacs issue 2, Nouns, Nountown issue 3. Why do you even put that in there? Why do you put that shit in there?
Nouns downtown, right? You gotta
No,
boom the
I-
beats, right?
I'm not. They don't deserve that. I guess
You're slipping. You're slipping.
no. Whatever.
You're flustered. You're
From
flustered. You gotta focus.
Dynamite, we have the Blue Falcon or Falcon.
See, that was forced. Okay, take a break. Pause.
The Blue
It's okay.
Falcon in Dynamite issue 3, Vampirella Armageddon issue 5, and then we got a couple number ones, Thundercats Panthro issue 1, which I'm assuming is also a one shot. Again, Ed Brisson on that one with art by Dave Costa. We got Gargoyles in Fantastic Four issue 1, which is written by Greg Weisman and George Cambadeas. I'm going to check that one out because that's a crossover I didn't freaking expect to see.
Well, that I was like, what?
Yep.
How is Dynamite like? Or the price of my comics about to go up because they're dipping their toes into Marvel here with the Fantastic Four.
Well, they do all the Disney stuff. I mean, like, so they have some level of relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
that's definitely worth checking out for sure.
And then we got Peter Cannon Thunderbolt issue 1, which is written by Fred Van Lent with art by Jonathan Lau. And that brings us to.
I was going to say, I believe Fred Van Lent wrote Murder Kingdom.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. All right, that brings us to the third week of November. That is New Comic Book Day, November 19th.
19th, yes, from Marvel, we have The Ultimates issue 18, The Amazing Spider-Man issue 16, One World Under Doom issue 9, Punisher Red Band issue 3, Captain America issue 5, Predator Kills the Marvel Universe issue 4, The Unbreakable X-Men, not Kimmy Schmidt, but The Unbreakable X-Men issue 2, X-Men Book of Revelation issue 2, Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe issue 5, Radioactive Spider-Man issue 2, The Last Wolverine issue 2, All New Spider-Gwen Go Spider issue 4, Star Wars Jedi Knights issue 9, Omega Kids issue 2, Marvel Rivals Infinity Comic issue 29, Marvel Rivals Unleashed Infinity Comic issue 5, and then we have some number ones. We have Spider-Man Holiday Spectacular issue 1, written by Rainbow Rowell, with art by Luciano Vecchio and Bob Quinn. Bob Quinn, a good friend, Bob Quinn. Bobo. We have X-Men of Apocalypse issue 1, written by Jeff Loeb, with art by Simone DeMeo. And then we have Nova Centurion issue 1, written by Jed McKay, with art by Alvaro Lopez.
I've been dying for this ever since I read, I think, the first issue of Imperial. Right after that, we got this series announced. I was already in on spending some time with Nova, a character who I didn't necessarily care about a whole heck of a lot beforehand, but really enjoyed in that event. And then obviously I've said a lot about Jed McKay and how I enjoy his work. So I'm checking out this. This was the title that I was like, I'm absolutely reading this coming out of the Imperial event. So I'm definitely checking this one out and all in on Nova Centurion. Moving over to DC, we got Absolute Flash issue 9, Nightwing issue 132, Batman Superman World's Finest issue 45, Titans issue 29, Wonder Woman issue 27, The New Gods issue 12, Superman Unlimited issue 7, Justice League Red issue 4, Catwoman issue 81, and the book that's probably going to be bringing most people to the shops, but also I would imagine is going to confuse the fuck out of some people, is Batman Deadpool issue 1. And some of you may be wondering, didn't we already get that crossover? We got it with a different creative team. That was why am I blanking on who the artist was for that? Oh, it was Capullo, and that was written by Zeb Wells. This is written by Grant Morrison with art by Dan Mora. Quick synopsis on this: the Dark Knight and the Merc with the Mouth team up for an adventure so mind-bending you'll think you're in a dream. That's all we're getting. So I don't know. Like we'll probably get an early look at this. So we'll be able to talk about it in some capacity. But the reason why this would be worth picking up, if you're like Joe and you're not a Deadpool guy, or maybe it's like you're worried it's going to be the same story, we're getting different backup stories in this issue. In the Marvel one, we got I think we got like a Wonder Woman and I think Captain America. I'm blanking on the backup stories, but I think we got like a Daredevil and Green Arrow. We got a few there. We're getting some other ones here, including Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, and Joshua Williamson teaming up with Hayden Sherman for a Constantine Doctor Strange story. And then we have Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo doing a Nightwing, Laura Kinney Wolverine story. So like there's a lot of other stories that we're going to be getting in this from a backup sense. I don't know about I haven't seen anything else anywhere, Joe, to indicate it's different with Batman Deadpool.
I'm more excited about the backup stories, to be honest. Now, I love Grant Morrison and Dan Moore. I love them both. I'm gonna read it. I said this way back when it was first announced. It's not the pairing I would have put together. It's not a pairing I'm interested in. It's a pairing that, quite frankly, annoys the shit out of me. So, but I will read it. But I'm really looking forward to that Snyder, Tynan, Williamson team up with Sherman for the Constantine Doctor Strange tale.
Very, very excited for that.
And to see Redondo and Taylor back doing Nightwing, yes, and Mariko Tamaki, right, doing some Harley Quinn stuff. So, yeah. This one will be excellent. I think I might be more interested in the backup stories than I am the main story.
I think the next main one that we're going to be getting, I think next year, is Superman and Spider-Man, which I'm assuming you're much more on board for.
100%. 100%. Now, those are my two binkies, of course. I think I admitted this last time. I don't think I'm much of a Deadpool guy.
No, you're not.
It kind of annoys the shit out of me.
Yep. As he tends to do
Yes.
with a few people. All right, what do we got from Image and Skybound?
We have Exquisite Corpses, issue 7. G.I. Joe, issue 14. The Walking Dead Deluxe, issue 125. Everything Dead and Dying, issue 3. Excellent series. The Sacrificers, issue 17. News from the Fallout, issue 6. What a hell of an issue 5 was, by the way. Ghost Pepper, issue 5. Undiscovered Country, issue 34. I feel like we get an issue a year at this point now. With Undiscovered Country. Viking Moon, issue 2. Lost Fantasy, issue 5. Creep Show, issue 3. No Man's Land, issue 3. Lazarus Fallen, issue 6. Good is Dead, issue 3. Did we read that? Did you read that?
I'm like issue 3. I haven't even heard of this one.
Yeah. Hectoplasm, Hunt the Bigfoot, issue 2. And then we have a couple of number ones. We have Capes, issue 1, written by Robert Kirkman with art by Matt Englert, long out of print and very in demand, reintroducing Robert Kirkman and Mark Englert's corner of the Invincible Universe. We have Spawn, The Dark Ages, issue 1, written and drawn by Liam Sharp. In a book that I think we already have, Nicholas, and I think we've had this book now for a few years. And that's Final Boss, issue 1, written and drawn by Tyler Kirkham. This, I believe, was a Kickstarter that we both backed. At least I know I backed. I have it. And but I guess it's now coming out in floppy form.
Yeah, so it was a Indiegogo campaign, I actually believe, not to correct you, a few years ago.
Oh, maybe,
yeah, it doesn't matter. But I have it, and it was like signed by Kirkham and everything. And whenever I get something signed, as you know, it's just like you don't want to I have sweaty hands, so I'm just like I don't want to mess it up. So I actually haven't read it, but now it's perfect. So like I'm gonna read this, and then I'll see what then we'll know okay, what's it like for the first issue, or does it kind of already delve into that? Because it doesn't look the plot holes, right? That was an Indiegogo story. I went and collected the single issues after the fact as well because I just love that series so much. I might do that with Final Boss too. I'm not sure, but just a real quick synopsis on this. Get ready for an over-the-top adventure that's a high octane nod to classic action stories. Trying to forge a new path, Tommy uses his newfound powers for various paid enforcer gigs and street fights, only to uncover a past far more complex than he ever imagined. I was excited for this. Like in Tyler Kirkham's just one of the best cover artists in the business, just an amazing artist in general. So I'm very excited for this regardless. Also, real quick note on Spawn, The Dark Ages. One note that was in the synopsis that I think is worth pointing out. This is a miniseries, but also epic brutality comes to the Spawn universe. The fact that you need to say that on a Spawn book is fucking crazy. And Liam Sharp, I love Liam Sharp's art style, so I'm excited to check that one out as well. Moving over to boom, we got Power Rangers Prime issue 12, a series that I am now working on getting fully caught up on. Hello Darkness, my old friend, issue 16. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, volume 3, issue 3. The volume screws me up a little bit there.
Every goddamn time.
Yeah. It really does. But anyways, Marian Heretic issue 2. I read that first issue. Going to read the second. Some crazy art in that first issue. The Last Witch, Blood and Betrayal issue 5, which Joe is reading, and then Mary Sue issue 2.
From A Dark Horse, we have Red Book, issue 2. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, The Sword of Flaws, issue 2. Powers 25, issue 3. Kill All Immortals 2, 2. Volume 2, issue 2. Got me too. Magic the Gathering, Untold Stories, Elspeth, issue 2. Critical Role, Vox Machina Origins, volume 1, issue 6. Fucking nailed it. Nocturnals, The Sinister Path, issue 3. Minor Threats, The Last Devil, Left Alive, issue 2. The Guy in the Chair, issue 2, which I believe you read the first issue and you enjoyed.
Yes.
And then we have Jean Le Carre's The Circus, Losing Control, issue 1, written by Matt Kint with art by Ibrahim Mustafa.
I might end up checking that one out too. Although this is going to be that week 3 is definitely going to be a jam-packed week in November.
By and large, we're going to check out Matt Kint books.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. From Mad Cave, we got Flash Gordon issue 3, Racer X issue 3, It Killed Everyone But Me issue 3, Gotcha Man issue 14, Terabytes issue 2, Temporal issue 2, Don't Forget Your Briefcase issue 5, and then we got Ferocious issue 1, which is written by Luke Petrowski with art by Emmanuel Ercolani.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Fucking vo. Let me take us through a couple here, and then you can bring us home there, Nikolai. From Oni Press, we have Catacomb of Torment, issue 5. Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa, issue 3, and Yuletide, issue 2. From IDW, we have Sonic the Hedgehog, issue 82. TMNT, Casey Jones, issue 2. Excellent series, by the way. The Twilight Zone, issue 2. Starship Godzilla, issue 2. Star Trek The Last Starship, issue 2. And Monster High World Scare, issue 4.
And then from Dynamite, we got Space Ghost, issue 5. Harley Quinn and Elvira, issue 2. It is crazy what Dynamite's doing right now with from a crossover standpoint. Like, you're also kind of doing like a DC and Marvel crossover type stuff. Like, and they're also in KO as well, which is insane. Anyways, Vampirella issue 6, The Terminator Metal issue 2. We loved that first issue. Silverhawks issue 10, Herculoids issue 10, and The Lion King issue 1, which is written and drawn by Edwin Gallman. And the one thing I want to say about this, because I was like, what are they doing with The Lion King? This is all before the rise of Scar. So definitely like during like Mufasa's prime, and Simba's still a kid and everything like that. And that brings us, Joe, to the final week, the final new comic book day of November, the 26th.
Yeah, it's just a real quick thing on Silverhawks issue 10. I believe that's the final issue of that series. Yeah, so taking us up to Turkey Day, the last week of November. From Marvel Comics, we have The Mortal Thor, issue 4, Black Cat, issue 4, Undead Pool, issue 2, Marvel Zombies Red Band, issue 3, why are you fucking doing this? Expatriate X-Men, issue 2, Cloak or Dagger, issue 2, X-Vengers, issue 2, Venom, Black, White, and Blood, issue 4, Battle World, issue 3, The Undead Iron Fist, issue 3, Star Wars, Boba Fett, Black, White, and Red, issue 3, Uncle Scrooge, Earth's Mightiest Duck, issue 4. And then we have a couple of number ones. We have The Infernal Hulk, issue 1, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with art by Nick Klein. So neither of us, admittedly, aren't big Hulk guys. But if I see PKJ attached, I'm reading it, baby. And then we have Daredevil, Punisher, The Devil's Trigger, issue 1, written by Jimmy Palmiotti, with art by Philip Tan. So, Daredevil, Punisher, they oftentimes go hand in hand, and we've seen that, with Jason Aaron's run on Punisher. and Daredevil getting involved there. So love it, love it, love it. Looking forward to this. Love Jimmy Palmiotti. And big time riser up the must read writer scoreboard for me.
Some quality number ones from Marvel
Mm.
for this week. From DC, we got Absolute Batman issue 14 and Absolute Wonder Woman issue 14. Then we got Detective Comics issue 1103, Superman issue 32, DC KO issue 2. I'm not sure if this is where all the characters from out of left field are showing up. It may be this, or maybe there may be like a one shot within the event. I cannot remember for the life of me. We'll let you guys know. Justice League Unlimited issue 13, The Flash issue 27, Green Arrow issue 30, Green Lantern issue 29, Immortal Legend Batman issue 4, Harley Quinn issue 56, Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong volume 2 issue 5. Got me again, damn it. Trinity, Daughter of Wonder Woman issue 5. And then we got two number ones. One is kind of more just a holiday special from various writers and artists. DC's I Saw Ma Hunkel Kissing Santa Claus issue 1. But then, more importantly, Joe, we got a DC Black Label book, a series that's starting over here. Batman, Green Arrow, The Question, Arcadia issue 1. I know that's a mouthful, but it's letting us know all the characters in there. At least they're being as efficient as they can. And this is written and drawn by Gabriel Hardman. And it looks like there's like this mystery that's trying to be solved, both Green Arrow and The Question. But then somehow Batman is an obstacle in this. But you've got two characters that we're always interested in. Seeing them in the mix, and then you throw this detective character and The Question in. Black Label, I'm in. I'm checking this one out. Sure.
100%. 100%. From Image and Skybound, we have they're really fucking going all in on the fucking punny Santa books this year. From Image and Skybound, we have Geiger issue 18, The Department of Truth issue 34, Skinbreaker issue 3, Gunslinger Spawn issue 49, Universal Monsters, The Invisible Man issue 4. I actually meant to add this in my catching up. I read issues 2 and 3 because I never got issue 2 at my local comic book shop. Was there last week and grabbed issue 3 and was able to snag issue 2 as well.
Nice.
That's really fucking good. I think I got to add that to my dibs list. You haven't read that, right?
Nope. All you. You're the Universal Monsters guy on the show.
Yeah. I got to add that one. Escape issue 4, Feral issue 18, Red City issue 20, Hornsby and Halo issue 12, Universal Monsters Dracula Black White special issue 2. Yeah, okay, fine. Dracula is tremendous. I would go just read it in color.
Yeah.
You kind of need the color for that book, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
it won't hit as hard in black and white. G.I. Joe Real American Hero, Hama Files edition, issue 26, Skinbreaker Treasury edition, issue 3, I Tyrant, issue 5, I Tyrant? Question issue 5. And then the number one from Image and Skybound that week is I Saw Santa, a Spawn Universe Christmas Story, issue 1, written by Chris Killian, with art by Andrew Sanders. Do with that as you will.
Don't sound too excited.
No.
From Boom, we got The Last Day of H.P. Lovecraft, issue 2, The Killer Affairs of the State, volume 2, issue 6. And then a new Berserker title is beginning. Berserker, The Bleeding Tide, issue 1, of course, written by Keanu Reeves with Marjorie Liu also co-writing on this one. And then Gary Brown is the artist.
Was it Matt Kint before?
Matt Kint started it, but then there's been other people in the mix.
Yeah.
So it's not been the same person at any given time. Yeah, I know.
All right. I'll take us through these next few here, Nicholas, and then you can bring this puppy home. From Dark Horse, we have Quick Stops, Volume 3, Issue 4, and then, what is this?
Yeah.
Devil on My Shoulder, Issue 1, written by friend of the show, Kyle Starks, with art by Peter Kowalski. Something terrible has happened. For 40 days, she was tortured by 5 men and left for dead, but she will get her revenge on each and every one of them, and it will be bloody, an event that takes her on a strange and violent supernatural path of payback through bizarre encounters with ex-hitmen, sadistic art enthusiasts, and literal devils. Yes, 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 dibs.
Oh
No, I
wow!
wouldn't do that to you. I
Oh,
wouldn't do that to
I
you.
mean, you could have done it. You could have
I know,
absolutely
but I
done it.
wouldn't do that to you. I just wanted to see that
That
look on your face.
that was good. That was well done. The one thing I wanted to note here that I've heard is this is like Kyle Starks obviously does like a lot of comedy in his work, not in this one apparently. So brace up.
Oh,
Yep.
oh. You know what? Speaking of that, he sent out. We got it on one of the next episodes before the holiday here. We got to read Wrestle Heist and do a what is that thing that we do when
Early
we look
look.
at books early? Thank you. We
You
should do
sent us
that on.
that?
Yeah. He sent us an email. Yeah, Wrestle Heist.
Oh,
Three
geez, you're
issues.
right. The email. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I forgot about that. Shoot. God,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Okay.
we got time. We got time, but that seeing
No, that's fun
seeing his
too.
name there, we should do
Yep.
that.
Yep. 100%. Good
Yeah.
job, Joe.
Every now and then, I come up with one of those. Let's see, from Med Cave Studios, we have Flow issue 3 and Orla issue 4. Let's go, John Lees. And from Oni, we have Biker Mice from Mars issue 6 and Cemetery Kids Run Rabid issue 4. And then from IDW, we have TMNT Shredder issue 3. That's written by Dan Waters. That's an excellent series, by the way. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures issue 31 and Star Trek Voyager Homecoming issue 3. Nicholas, bring us home, baby.
From Distillery, we got Galactic issue 1, which is written by Kurt Pyers with art by Amilcar Pena. Then from Dynamite, we got Thundercats issue 21, Supernatural issue 2, Stitch issue 4, Disney Villains Maleficent issue 2, and the one holiday special that Joe actually likes, Vampirella Holiday 2025 special issue 1.
Nothing screams Christmas like a mean set of jugs, Nicholas.
Jesus. Oh my goodness. I'm surprised you haven't checked out a Vampire story at this point.
Red Sonja is like, okay, that's I get caught reading those around the house. My wife's asking questions. I start dipping into Vampirella and Elvira, and she's gonna start asking questions.
Yeah. She'll start calling me and ask questions. Oh man. Well, that is another solicit in the books, everybody. That is our November solicit. We have everything kind of planned out for the month of November already. One thing we want to put on all of your radars is we are going to be doing the gift guide that we do every year. I think last year was the first year we moved it up to November because for some fucking reason we were doing it in December at first. But we are going to be ahead of the game. We will get that to you guys ahead of Black Friday. I think 2 weeks before that. So we'll be doing that. But if you're also like, hey, I need it sooner, listen to past year stuff because there's plenty like those gift guides, all that stuff's evergreen. Anything that we thought was a good book last year, we still think is a good fucking book. So, and you can still access them in some capacity. Newberry Comics, your local comic shop, probably even Barnes & Noble for some of these as well. So definitely check those out, but we'll have a whole new fresh one for you. We try not to double dip. That's like the one spot where we really don't do it because we want to make sure we're pushing out new books for everybody to be checking out on a yearly basis. But Joe, I think that's it. Mainline episode next week is in the books. Yeah.
Boy.
Remember how to do one of those?
No, I don't. So I'm going to have to keep reading.